My name is Nasime Saps.
Alright, so this is going to be a unlisted private recording for Rod. And it's going to be based on, I'll just upload this to YouTube as unlisted so only you can see it. And, you know, hopefully my audio is loud enough. It might not actually be loud enough, so let me just let me just make this a little bit louder. Okay, so then that should definitely be loud enough. Alright, so okay. So you wanted to know where around where the base is. Okay, so basically there's two slave lakes. There's this lesser slave lake, right? And then there's greater slave lake or great slave lake. Okay, so obviously this is Northwest Territories, this is Alberta. So basically the underground base is, let me get my pen tool. All right, so the underground base is like from here all the way down to like here. Okay, and let's go back. Okay, so it's about from there to there. Okay, and we'll zoom in. Obviously this is gonna be smaller because, but anyway, so there are entrances. Let's go back out. So this is the Wood Buffalo National Park. That's Greater Slave Lake. That's the one fort. That's the second fort right here. This is the Lesser Slave Lake, right? So let's put it to where it was. It was like this, basically. Like this. Something like that, okay? Okay, so in my memory, okay, so let me undo that drawing. Okay, so now you kind of know where it is. So now let's go back to my memory where I remember coming out. All right, so in Wood Buffalo National Park there's another lake, Lake Claire. Okay, and then there's, okay, so, and then Lake Athabasca, they kind of feed into each other. Okay, so this lake, okay, feeds into this lake, feeds into, following the river, it feeds into this lake, right? So let's, okay, so in my dream, okay, I don't remember where I came out, okay, but there are openings to the underground base somewhere around here, somewhere around here. Okay, there's always openings near forts. Okay, there's, so wherever you see a fort, okay, wherever you see a fort, there's going to be an opening to get to the base. All right, wherever you see a fort, okay, those are code words. Okay, so if you see a fort anywhere, understand, look how many forts are around here. Okay, so wherever you see a location of forts on the map and you see the name fort and you see like a lot, okay, so look, okay, and also look, there's also another fort down here. Let's erase everything. Okay, let's go back. There's also another fort down here. Okay, Fort McKay, right? So wherever you see a fort, okay, so anywhere there's a fort, Okay. Anywhere there's a fort, there's going to be openings to the base. All right. There's going to be openings. That's not the only place they're going to be, but there's going to be openings. All right. So another thing that I'm pretty sure, I haven't done my own research on this, but I'm 100% sure that if you actually look into the missing people that go missing in this park every year, you're going to find that this is not normal. Okay, you're going to find out that it's not normal. The amount of people that go missing, right? Missing people. Okay, so the amount of people that go missing, it's going to be abnormal. It's not going to be normal at all. It's going to be too many people going missing in here. And it's not going to make sense. Okay, and I guarantee you the police know about it, but they're told to keep quiet. And because the whole government is satanic. Okay, Canada, America, it doesn't matter what government it is, it's all devils. Right? It's all devils. Okay, so now coming down to the bottom. Okay, let's look. So I'm just going to see if I can see any more forts. Okay, that's always the most important thing if you want to know, or military bases. Okay, forts, military bases, whatever. Always look to see where around the sighting there are military bases, because it's going to be connected to each other. Okay, it's going to be connected to each other. So there are. So let me just draw the thing again, and I'll draw from what I remember of the something like this. Something like that. Okay, so from the forts, okay, there are rail lines. Okay, there's rail lines, there's underground rail lines. Okay, there's underground rail lines. Okay, that go like this. Okay, underneath the ground. Okay, but they extend. Okay, so these rail lines, they extend all the way down into the United States, all the way down. All the way down. They go all the way down to the United States. Okay, because all of the underground bases on the American continent are all connected to each other, because they're all part of the same government anyway. So there's these giant underground rail lines, and they use infinite energy, and they use magnets. They use magnetism, and they go like a kajillion miles an hour. They go like 3,000 miles an hour or whatever. Like they go really fast, you know, like I don't know, 7,000 miles an hour. Who knows? They go really fast. Okay, several thousand miles an hour, and they just zip around up and down, up and down. Okay, and they put kids on these trains. Okay, so remember, think back to World War II, and think back to World War II, and think back to how in World War II the Nazis, they would put people on the trains in those you know, you saw the pictures basically, you know, where they would put the people on the trains, and it would be like really like shit, right? And it would be like a transport train, but it would be really shitty. Like that's what they do with the kids, and they put them on trains underneath the ground, like that. Okay, so basically, so it's basically all of this whole area is like under the purview of one base. Okay, but there's like a little tiny base. There's like one big base, but then there's like little tiny little bases. So the base that I was in, there was like a little tiny separate little base that was over here. I'll show you. It was somewhere around the lake. Okay, there's a little around this lake, in this base, in this park. Okay, so in this park, there's a little tiny little base that is part of the larger base, but it's kind of separate. It's kind of separated. It's still part of the same thing, but it's kind of separated a little bit. All right. And so I came in here. Okay. My mission took place in around here. Okay. The southern part of Wood Buffalo National Park. That's basically where my mission took place. Okay. So, you know, I was there. That's where it was. You know. So it's messed up. What's going on right now? And nobody knows anything, and everyone just basically worships the government and does everything the government says, because if you don't, they'll just kill you, right? So it's really bad, and it's really effed up. And so I bet you anything, you look at the amount of people that go missing, look at the amount of kids that go missing here. Okay. Look at the amount of kids that go missing in Lloyd. All right. And look at the amount of kids that go missing in, let me zoom out a little bit. And also Calgary too. So if you just look at the amount of missing kids that go missing just in those 3 places, I bet you right now you'll be shocked. The amount of missing kids that happen in those 3 areas. And also the amount of missing people, not just kids, but kids and people that go missing in this park. It's going to be crazy, the number. It's not going to make sense. It's not. Why? Because like pretty much all of Alberta and half of Northwest Territories is a freaking underground base right there. So most of Alberta is an underground base, and half of Northwest Territories is an underground base. And they get most of their water from this. Okay? This Great Slave Lake is where they get most of the water from. And they also probably get water for this because it's a big base. It's not small. So they need water. So, you know, and obviously they get water from here and they get a little water from here. But the main place they get water is this one. Okay? That's the main place they get water. So it's effed up. What's going on? Let me exit out. Yeah, it's really effed up what's going on. So this is just going to be recording for a rod. Okay, that's it.
Let's take a trip back to civilization, Babylonian kings and ancient Mesopotamia. Research inscriptions and read translations, the myths and legends, what's fact from fiction. Depictions of giants who ruled the land, double rows of teeth and 6-fingered hands. The men of renown before the flood, where the angels fell to pollute the blood. They mingled the seed with both man and beast, and besieged the whole world with these circus freaks. They were drowned in the deluge, but once deceased, they became demon beings to corrupt beliefs. The basis of myths, these strange relations, the gods of the Greeks and the ancient pagans. They worship the sun and the moon and stars, and channel these spirits like avatars. From the Nephilim bloodlines from the fallen ones, the ancient hybrids and redhead giants have now returned like a deadly virus. From the Nephilim bloodlines from the fallen ones, the ancient hybrids and redhead giants have now returned like a deadly virus. Nimrod was the first after the flood to build the tower of bricks made of straw and mud. Exalted himself to reach the heavens, to be like God through self-ascension, enchanted through mystical tricks and